Whoa! It's Wulzy. Welcome to day 2/video 2 of the Building an Art Level series. If you guys enjoyed the first episode, I have no idea. This whole series is pre-recorded. Okay, so we made this cool lava part. Got a lot of work to be done, I think. I'm not entirely satisfied with the beginning. I want to add some extra stuff to the lava. I think just placing some drippy objects like so, pasting the state and then putting it on T2 so it goes above, could add a lot to the foreground here. I think it would be really helpful if I just keep copying different layers of the fire and putting this over on different parts of the level. Okay, not sure because that looks super ugly. Yeah, the layering is not quite the way I want it, I think. We could totally do 2 layers though. That's it's kind of lame. Maybe I could put all of those onto an area fade or something just so they light up as we're getting there. We can just give them a group 38. Area fade, let's just turn that on to like 75% opacity. When I'm 10 blocks away, that's just gonna fade on. Group 38, center on the player. It's still not great. Just go even closer to the player then. So it's on the screen for less time. Yeah, okay, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not adding much. If I want fire in the background, I'm gonna have to make more of an effort than that. AKA just placing waterfall objects in the background as a start. We have a red and we have a yellow. That should be... Oh, that's so gross, actually. I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's just put B5 and it should go behind all of the glow. We should be able to place pillars like this. Let's just start it over here so I can see how that would look. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to make some skinnier and some longer, but it might be good to build up the level. And I'm also not sure about some of the color choices here. I mean, pretty ugly against the background. Yeah, like, look at this. I'm gonna try and desaturate it a bit. Oh gosh, that looks even worse. Now it just looks pink. That's awful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so new color. I guess just copy one. Less hue, less brightness. And also make it blending. That's gonna be the big difference. Oh, that just is straight up pink. Wow! Okay, so I found a color that works. We can definitely use that. We can create a layer that we're just gonna use with a couple of different sizes here. I don't want to use it too often. Also, we're gonna finally get rid of these pillars because they've been in the background for way too long. Where did I even put them? These stupid things. Layer 17? What was I doing? Okay, so there's one layer here, which I'm putting behind the original layer of glow, which is on B2. I'm kind of squishing this level together. But I'm thinking of creating another layer of it, which is taller, which can be on B3. And you see how some of the layers that I put behind, like this one, are now going behind an extra layer of glow, and they're appearing further back. That's just because there is a layer of glow that's stopping it from appearing. It's basically a background with multiple layers. I'm gonna take this set and just decrease the brightness overall. That did absolutely nothing. Awesome. Okay, yeah, there is a layer that's lower opacity looking now. So we move one layer towards the player at like a minus 0.34. I don't know, I'm feeling funky. That just seems like a nice number to use. Let's give that 39. And then 40, which is the bigger layer at the back, should go less speed. So this is gonna be like a little bit slower, maybe even into the 2s. So now we have, oh, that's really fast. Oh my gosh, okay. Let's just cook a little bit more using a minus 0.24 and a minus 0.18. This could be good. I do like that glow layer behind. It's helping with the depth a lot. My problem with this level is that it's just feeling a little bit flat at the moment. No matter how many layers I'm adding to it, it just seems a little bit Not sure if that's because the background has too many bright colors in it, but there's just not anything that's kicking, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a foreground layer with particles, maybe it's something in the background that's needed. Okay, now I'm experimenting. You'll probably see around the outside there's a bit of a wispy effect here, and that's just the result of putting this swirly decoration behind the glow that's in the back. Like if I bring it to the front, you'll see it's actually pretty strong, but because it's in the back behind all of that glow, it gives it a cool texture. So I think that's just a welcome ooh, that looks sick when the level goes dark. Okay, not sure on this extra vertical layer, but I do think I can use this swirl wherever I've put it. I've used far too many layers in this level for my own good already. Let's just put it at the bottom of, I think the top of B4 would work better. So then I can use B4 for some extra detail. Because, for example, where is the particle object? I can never find this thing. Here we go. Say I try to add some like glow spots in the background real quick. I'll just make like a really quick example. Just make them huge. They can go on a radius effect where they're like splitting up and like spiraling a little bit. Just using the object color with 1 and 2, which should make it red and yellow. If I place that on B4, oh, I need to lock it to the x-axis too. How visible is that going to be? It's not visible at all? What? Huh, I thought it was going to be a cool effect. Yeah, you can see when I zoom out, it's just not visible in game yet. So how do I make it visible in game? There's too much red, like it's all just, yeah, like that's what I want. right there. So I guess I just keep it yellow and yellow. I'm just trying to make it look a bit cooler in the back and give it some bright spots. It's kind of working, not as much as I would like. Yeah, so how do I make this better? Oh, these particles aren't even that visible. I could just use it without. Okay, well, my solution, because I want both things, right, is just gonna be to fade this on and off. Okay, this is getting better, but I want to put some actual art in the background. And also, some of these fire pillars don't even look like they're that far away. I'm just gonna leave it for now and work on the transition out. So what groups do we have on the waves? I completely forget. So these waves are gonna go out one after the other. The front layer is gonna move first. I think we're gonna put this on a back in out or a back in. Let's just do a 1 second at first, and then we can just go layer by layer. I'm supposed to be going backwards, not forwards. Whoops. So hopefully I create a ripple in the wave. You know what I mean? Just for it to exit, I want it to look cool here. That did nothing. It wasn't fast enough. There's so much wrong with this. First off, these need less space between them. Then they need less time. And then at that point, there's no point even using a back in because it's too short. So ease in. Let's try 0.5. It's just not great. But we can move something else on. I'm also going to give this star a cheeky little group right now, which is going to be 45. And that's just going to have a trigger. Just so the gradient moves down off the screen. So we get rid of that. Yeah. What happened to my spider? Okay, so yeah, I want a section like this where there's no ground at all. So I am just going to go straight to the start of the level and just remove the ground like this. There's still more detail to add in the beginning. I'm just going to make the next section here. Okay, these things look super bad when they're big. I was wondering, can I just put these in the foreground? Maybe if I made multiple layers, this could look nice. Just to kind of give it a bit of continuity, because I don't plan to reuse this block design in the spider. Oh, I used the same layer as something else. That's awkward. I want to create foreground platforms like this. Let's just set myself up with a guideline. Okay, I'm going to move these up, give the top side 46, give the bottom side 47, and they're going to be like 10 blocks down, and overall they're gonna have group number 48. Gonna move them to the left as well. Sorry, I sound dead at the moment. I don't know what it is. 48 is gonna lock to the player, and this is going to... Oh, how do I want to do this actually? I think I make them move slightly different speeds. I don't know. I'm kind of obsessed with this mod X feature, if you can't tell. I just think it's a really cool way to add some variation to things and make foregrounds and backgrounds and nice little things. So if I start moving them on, I'm just gonna move the triggers out of the fire. Please, dude. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I can't tell how fast they're moving. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just move them onto the screen. 47 will go up. I'm thinking of doing a back out, but that might get in the way of the gameplay. So maybe a sign out just to test that everything works would be smarter. And I'm gonna put the duration line just for like as we're going into the spider. We gotta do a 46 as well, which is going down 10 blocks. And then boom. Okay, this has potential. Look, there's a slight movement too because the area move we added last episode. This has some decent potential, not gonna lie. I gotta be careful. And then I'm going to warp them in. Am I? Oh gosh, I'm kind of second guessing myself now. I can't just flip upside down like that because then the groups are going to be backwards because the objects that move down onto the screen are now going to be the wrong place. And I also want to make this layer overall brighter, so I'm going to go into HSV. What? Oh, because they're different objects. I see. Okay, well, this can be fixed. If I put T4, it's going to be a slightly painstaking process, but if I just go behind all of the objects and put glow on the bottom of T4, that should put them a cut above the layer behind. Yeah. So now I just got to spend like a million hours just copy pasting this glow around. But yeah, you see how it creates a bit of a layer between? I want to change the colors somehow. I'll probably add a pulse for the top layer, or maybe the bottom layer can be like fading to black on and off. I can set that up right now just to test how it looks before I get too deep into this. Let's just set up 49 to pulse to black on like a 0.5 and 1 over and over again type loop. Okay, it looks better with the differentiating layer. Yeah, and they're going to be moving at different speeds and stuff too. So, okay, that's all done. As you can see right there in green, we pasted that to the ceiling. Oh, but I need to change the group. Oh, I didn't even add any. Oh gosh. And these things have like a million groups too. 35. Oh my, I can't even read the numbers, let alone remember them. 35, and then it was 47 and 48. And then the top side will need 46 and 48. Yep. It's all going in. If they're in front, they should be moving faster, which means on top, on the group 52, I'm going to place a movement on them. Let's just say 15 seconds. No easings or anything. Just before they ever appear on screen and just continuously, I guess. That's going to move like an extra 1 block a second. Is that enough? I think so. Just to differentiate them a bit. Give it a bit of depth. This actually looks quite cool. Like, I know it's not amazing, but you know, it'll do the job. And I'm thinking if I add a pinch too. Is it a pinch that I want? I don't know. I don't use these shaders very often. Can't actually see this preview of the pinch. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Ah, oh, okay, I see. I don't want it to be that crazy. I just want it to kind of wrap around the screen. And I feel like this is going to be unplayable. Yeah, look at this. This is crazy. So we're going to want to drag the modifier down and just leave the X and Y pretty low here. That actually works. Oh my gosh. Dude. Okay, they gotta go on for longer, but wow. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for getting that to work. It's not the most creative thing I've ever done, but it's still, like, decent. I wonder if I can, like, pulse that with the music. That would be so sick. Also, this background is ending up looking really nice here. Boom. Okay, so right here, I think I want to increase the modifier to, like, 0.3. If I just put this on like a 0.2 fade time, I'm just gonna move it out the way. And then move it back down to the 0.1. Yeah, maybe just a 0.1. I want it to be like a boom. Okay, it's not crazy. Do I want it to go the other way though? That's the question. Something like this would work. Bang. Bang. Yeah, this is it. But I'm actually feeling this a lot. I really like it. It looks so cool. Oh my gosh. Making gameplay is proving to be difficult because I can only use the spaces in between these big objects if I want like good sight readability, right? I don't know how these spikes are gonna work in my favor. I don't think they actually are because it's just gonna look weird being in the background there. They move a bit with the screen, but it should be fine. So all my gameplay is kind of just squished into the middle here. And I'm gonna find a transition out for when it goes like go. I don't know. Yeah, block design time. I'm gonna do something pretty similar because it seemed to work before. I don't know if I'm gonna use these rock designs. I'm thinking of overlaying some funny looking bricks if I can find them. Yeah, these ones. If I could just make the base black blending, we can have some just floating bricks here. I'm trying to texture it with a regular brick. I don't really know what I'm doing though. It doesn't really look like anything. Trying different blocks now with different base and details. I can't really find one that's sticking for me though. Maybe I could stretch this up. Some cool looking cracks on a block. Ooh, okay. So I've managed to find two blocks that work somewhat well with each other. I just underlaid this one with a low opacity version of another crack on top. Increase the brightness on this layer. I don't know what I'm doing actually. Ooh. This is weird. We could probably use that for some kind of design if I put a little bit of glow around the edge. If I just extend this glow piece and then flip it around to the other side and position it in the middle and then just go right in, just tweak it very slightly, layer it over the top of this block on black. Should fade out the sides, but I want it to be darker because remember we made that color pulse. So if I just go down in brightness, yeah, okay. This is looking good to me. I'm gonna link that together and just quickly make another layer of glow on the top and bottom. I just do the same strategy of moving it double the distance and then just shrinking it inwards like this. There we go. Now we have like a faded version of that block. We can take the exact same thing and just make different shapes with it. It doesn't look the greatest in its actual texture, but with the glow around it, it does look a little bit better. I don't actually know what I'm doing, but this could work. I think let's just use this and then we can add more detail on top afterwards, just to build our structures. Wulzy strat is use the biggest object first. Just do that wherever possible first. Then go around with the second biggest. Actually, low-key, I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, this is like the most helpful one for building the structures up. Okay, I have a feeling that once I hide these structures, they're just gonna look a little bit plain. That's why I'm saying we need to add extra layers on top. Yeah, these are kind of looking strange. There's also big gaps at the bottom where I need to add more structuring. But yeah, I think we've got to take these overlays and put them on top of the glow. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it helps. It just looks a little bit Like, it has that texture that everyone complains about when they see an art level. So I gotta keep it under that glow for sure, but we should definitely add some kind of pulse to it, like 53. If I just set this to a group pulse and hold it for like 11 seconds or whatever, we should be able to see the effect, yeah. So let's just go on detail only, because that's what we're trying to achieve. Or is it main only? I don't actually know. What's the difference here? I don't entirely understand what I'm doing. Let's just set it to copy itself with more brightness. How does this look? Let me just go on the slider. So yeah, you see what it's doing? It looks terrible on the big blocks over there. Oh man. Let's just, we'll just do something. I don't know. We're just gonna see what it looks like if we just spam a few pulses here. We'll just change the brightness a couple of times. Okay, this might make things a bit better. And if we take the layer on the bottom and do something similar, what does it look like when we make a pulse for that? Let's see. Let's just do group 57, hold, and we'll just see. Yikes. Is it main or detail only that we want? I can't remember. Yeah, that looks horrible. Whereas the detail looks cooler. Okay. Let's just put it on HSV. We can test the brightness again. So that creates like little light spots in between. I think we want that on full, to be honest, and with much less on the fade in, fade out, as he puts 0.5. What I meant was 0.05. Whoops. We can use that less, I think, and go in between some of the other pulses. Hold on. Okay, what happens? Okay, the white is ugly. We don't want to go too desaturated at all. The hue change is also super ugly. So I'm just going to slap this back on full. I don't know. Just loop those and see what it looks like all together. I mean, it has the effect of like something. I am trying. Also, because of the fact that we've hidden the ground, I'm just adding a bunch of these blocks underneath just to help make these structures fit in a bit. Why does it look so washed out in game? I don't understand. It has so much more personality in the editor. Is it just me? Like, what? What happened to these, like, objects? They look so much better in the editor. Yeah, something is definitely different. Look at the difference between me playing and pausing. Like, some of the objects just straight up do not exist in game. Oh, is the background going on top of it? Oh, that would be so cringe. That actually seems like it could be going over the top. Oh, no. Can I just safely move these objects up a layer altogether without breaking it? I can. And look at the difference. Oh my gosh, it's the glow. That's the problem. Okay, so now I just gotta drag all of these objects up a layer. Cool. T1. Okay, that should be fine. Oh, now everything goes on top of the lava. Oh. Dude, what about B1? Is B1 safe? B1 is also safe. Okay, there we go. Now these look a bit better, but the glow is still a huge problem around the outside. I already have to smoothen that off. That cannot stay at that opacity. Let's give that group 62. We should be able to have a smooth alpha trigger effect on 62 before they ever go onto the screen. Just going down 67%. Oh, that is ugly. Oh boy, we are in for a challenge, aren't we? Ooh, my goodness. How are we gonna pull this one off? Okay, I found a potential solution. You can see that these objects have jagged edges, and that's because, if I can select this object, please. I've placed down some of these tufty grass objects, like so. And I'm thinking of just moving them around with the blocks in a similar fashion to how we did the outlines in this section. It's going to be very necessary to keep these objects friendly with each other. This is going to be so messy, I'm sorry. Oh, this is actually working surprisingly well. I mean, look how groovy these structures look right now. The glow is definitely kind of carrying on the edges just to make them blend in. Okay, now what do we think of the pot? Oh my gosh, this is actually so ugly. What happened? I can't even play this anymore. I was able to sight read this before, now I can't. This is quite scary. Oh no. I'm gonna test even more using the enter channels that we made in the last video. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Hopefully we can make a cool exit effect, but I don't know how that's gonna look when all of the objects are trying to move off screen at once. This just looks weird. It's just so anticlimactic. I gotta make a new one if I try that. I think we'll mess around with that in the next video. For now, we have to figure out the edges before we finish this video. Otherwise, this is cooked. Honestly, I think we can make some kind of fiery particle here. It's just gonna fade off in its lifetime, like so. We should be able to flip this on itself or towards itself like this. Yes, this could be an edge. Can we layer this on top of the block? Yes, we can. Now, how does it work? If we're on B1, it goes behind. Okay, okay. Let's use the object color, please, and we'll just run with the 1 and 2 that we set out last video. That could work. I think we use a new color channel, which is going to be a red blending, and we're going to make another one. Or actually, we could just give this a group instead of making a new color. And we could do an area tint for number 66. Basically, this trigger, once I figure it out, is going to make the objects turn yellow, or the particles turn yellow on full tint. I can't speak today, apparently. I just want the particles to go yellow as I'm getting closer to them, and it doesn't look like it does anything. Whatever, we're just gonna rock with this, dude. Creating is so much more fun when you just kind of drop the ball and just do whatever feels right, or just work on something until you're bored. I feel like I've been much more happier creating with that mentality, even if the levels do end up being a little bit more It's not really something that's bothered me. Okay, this is looking much better. I can actually see the edges of each block now. It doesn't really make much sense artistically, but I think the colors look much better this way. I'm actually feeling this. Awesome. I wonder if we can just add extra little blocks here. I'm just gonna hope I get lucky with the layering. Obviously, we're gonna add more detail in between. I keep saying this, but we're gonna put it to another video because I've just been enjoying adding the ideas in. My videos probably feel like a complete, I don't know how to say this, like whiplash almost, just because of how much I bounce back and forward between like adding new ideas or changing things or saying I'm gonna add details at a certain point. Okay, this actually looks good, except it is a little bit confusing with the foreground having the same colors as the blocks. It's a little bit confusing to see where to go. Ooh, I'm liking this. I'm actually building an art level. This is crazy. Still a lot more needs to be done. I want to add floating rocks in the background and add arrows and little fiery details on top. We didn't continue the shaders into the next part. Okay, that'll be fun to do in the next video for sure, because I'm going to end this one here. Bang! Stay tuned. I will be uploading the next video in this series in a couple of days. leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.